Hello, and welcome to Pillars of Eternity. We have some gods to visit, tell them of our great successes, give them what they want, and then take what we want. You know, it's a great deal, trust me. Also, in this game, the gods are bloody hypocrites. I mean, we had one who wanted to stop.
Amazing. You could fit a... Amazing. You could...
Yeah, who wanted to stop his followers from actually killing themselves, and one who wanted me to kill his followers because they lived too long. Kinda weird. Old song. We go there. Wish I could kill all the gods. I mean, what use is there of them? They did not create the world, did they? Well, whatever the reasons, we still have no idea what to do.
Adair, you have said you fought in the Saints' War, but for which side?
The one that blew up my god.
I didn't mean anything by it. I imagine a man with a head made of fire and light would be very convincing.
Funny thing about Dear Woodens. With all that fire and light, they just treated him like another authority figure.
That's not where we need to be. Elm's Reach. Go there. Dear Evron. Okay, Barrett. Which one was it? Quest. Prison of Ice? Yeah, let's actually tell her that the path is clear. I totally forgot about her. Oh man, oh man. You know, let's upgrade that sword. I mean, what else can I do? Not upgrade it. Yeah, that's ever gonna happen. If I don't have a flaming blade in my hand in the end, then there is no reason for me to keep living. Oh yeah, I'm sticking with that. Cool. Now let's compare them. Actually, they're pretty much the same. Resolution and Purgatory. Why not carry them both into battle? Two legendary weapons.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Go to Old Song. Did we ever find that bog dragon thing? No. Hmm. I'm incredibly disappointed. Where am I supposed to look for that thing? I mean, I haven't seen a single one the entire game. Well, whatever it is, I think I haven't missed much. Unless it's a bog dragon. In which case, where am I supposed to look for that thing? Killed all the other dragons. The open one, the sky dragon, the android dragon. Okay, please, I've got to get out of here. Make a run for it, go. She turned towards the hole, her legs, ears angled forward, as fast as my feet can carry me. She crumbled to the exit on ensanguined arms and legs. At the door, she glanced back at me. Thank you, Astamore, and be careful. Why is she faster than me? I have boots of speed. And there's some experience for me. Yeah, the experience was incredibly important. Yliel stands under an open sky, taking deep breath in fresh air. Feels like I've been born. Come by the mouth sometime. The rest of the Fangs will want to meet the cunning warrior who's freed me, okay? Probably won't. Lara. Is she in the mouth? Well, I guess we will finish that quest that we started, and I thought we'll never finish because it's so late in game. And again, what's the purpose of those generic ones when we have those scripted ones still not completed? Hmm. What wrong purpose brings you here? I found Awa. Your own eyes have seen her. I freed her from non-frost. She's just enjoying the fresh air before she returns. Accomplished a great service for the Fangs and for me. I was wrong about you, Estamorn. I did not see you, truly. Please accept the gift worthy of your honor and skill. Yay. Good to see you again. How are you? Oh, and well, thanks to you. Not that Lara gives me any chance to rest. My sister makes me earn my keep around here. You spent long enough stuck in the frozen cell, didn't you? Your limbs need exercise now. Teach me what you know. As long as you can keep up. Blooded Hunter. What does that do? Hmm. 1 stout, damage reduction to piercing. Cool. That's one quest I never actually accepted, apparently. Alright, we still have things to do. Two things. One god and another god. And they'll be fine. I've already done my duty for them. Okay, go here. Prime guard. Ah, there he is. I prayed again, and the vision of the white plain emerged. The driving wind returned in a chaotic of whirling snow. Something moved at the center of the blizzard, plodding but relentless. As the snowstorm gets closer, I saw an outcrock, as colossal and slow as a glacier. Its shaggy white hair is matted with frost, but beneath it ribs like ship's frame protrude. The beast of winter. I've seen its shape prowling the walls of many ancient ruins. A man, emaciated and almost naked, humbles at the beast's leg. His body is scored with lash marks, and his nose and ears have been carved from the face. His black eyes pierce the white scout. The Auroch stops and stands before me, enveloping me in a violent blizzard and surrounding it. Though its mouth does not move, the beast speaks in deep, thunderous voice.
A clan of Glamfelin ventured from the White That Wends to find the crack in the ice. When you sealed it, you damned their souls to a slow weathering here, one they had sought to escape.
This was what your vision dictated.
A fitting reply from an obedient servant. You seek always the correct answer, like a solution to a riddle.
No, it's not an obedient servant. It's someone who needs a favor from a god.
For each there is a season watcher. Winter's shroud covers all things in its time. The heat and energy of life dissipates, and untethered essence fades into chaos. But entropy is a chisel of ice and a hammer of wind. It is not for mortals to wield these tools.
The world shuddered beneath me, and a great crack echoed across the wide expanse. The ice splits at my feet, waves lapping through the rift. A low, melancholic voice rised from the depths.
I did not expect we would meet again so soon. You destroyed the army that threatened your life.
You set me up to die. When I get done here, I'm gonna settle the score. You can count on it.
I gave you the means to solve your problem. Be grateful I allowed you to survive the ordeal. You would not be here if you did not require our aid. What is it you seek?
Understanding of who I was and what my past means now.
Your past is one of loss and sorrow. The key to it is Theos, a man who has been forgotten to you for many lifetimes.
Yet there is a greater plot at work here, Watcher. Theos acts not for himself. He is the Burned Queen's quiet slave, a master of secrets and schemes.
Theos is a winter gale, unseen by the world even while he carves and shapes it. Woodica directs him, sending him to wipe her enemies from Aora.
And Animancy as well. He would see those secrets lost, the knowledge forgotten.
And he would see his mistress grow fat on the essence of thousands. For her, he has harvested the unborn souls of the Deerwood.
Why does Theos hate Animancy?
He believes that some knowledge is best lost to mortals.
Isn't that something that you teach people?
More importantly, Woodica despises it, and he yields to the will of the exiled queen in all things.
What now?
Theos has removed these souls from the cycle. They are ice melting in the sun. Let them fade.
Let them forget this world and be forgotten by it.
Take the souls she so desires and grind them into dust. Let her see her careful schemes thoroughly ruined.
The souls have served their purpose. Their absence caused great suffering. They will be remembered, no matter their fate. How are the souls created? I mean, I guess there are more living things now than there are before. And yet, how? How is a soul created? How does a new life begin? Once an old one ends, if there is no soul to inhabit the body.
It is the destiny of all things to crumble and join the chaos that follows this world. Some seek it willingly, as you have seen.
To mingle, roiled and stirred by the tides of the universe. It is not an unkind fate.
You would give these souls the very fate you sought to deny, the Glenfallen pilgrims. You are a bloody hypocrite, Ondra.
I am the beast of winter. I neither speed nor alter my path for the whims and desires of Kith. I take souls at the time of my choosing, be it mote by mote or in a sudden tempest of chaos.
These souls, they have already forgotten their place in this world. They have been lost to existence. Let them be memorialized and mourned for an age and then forgotten entirely.
I will seek Theos in sun, in shadow.
When you reach the burial isle, we will send lost souls to guide you through the pit. This is our gift to you. What you do after you face Theos will be your choice, but we would have you set the stolen essence adrift.
And whether you would heed us or no, understand that our end comes to all things eventually. Help us achieve it, and we shall reward you now with a power to rival Theos's.
I don't need your power to rival Theos.
But do not choose lightly. We forget nothing, least of all a betrayal.
I would hear what the other gods have to say first.
Do not wait forever. We wait, but Theos does not.
Grant continues towards you, swallowing you in a blinding, deafening snowstorm. I experienced a dizzying exhaustion, disorientation, oblivion, on the landscape around me, and even the reality of my own body. I heard a noise that could be the shrinking wind of Scan's screeching cackle, and then it receded with everything else. Ram Grant reappeared in the distance, trotting away from me, and without that follows him. As the vision of snow faded, it left in the wake the flagstone of Tir Evron. For the last 2 years, sailors of the Grace of Simana have been pair of lights dancing over the waves late at night. Those who have come close to the reported hearing 2 women's voices singing a song of unparalleled beauty. Some believe they are the souls of Alessa and Palene, ill-fated lovers who century ago were cast out of Anzense by a mob and driven from the cliffs to their death. Anzese's duchess condemned the mob's actions, but the unsympathetic songret Dokala did little to punish the offenders. Since the rumors about the lights have spread, romantic valiants have gone to the cliffs or even rowed small boats out from the shores at night to catch a glimpse of the springs. Anzese's new duke is doing his best to curb the behavior, but he believes that the only true remedy will be putting the spirits to rest. No small task given when and where they appear. A priest of Omdra and a crew of greedy sailors were all it took to row Devil of Karok out of the spot where Alessa and Helene's clothes were singing. Unfortunately, the chaos of the storm overruled the small boat. The Devil of Karok, the priest and the sailors were all plunged deep into the grace of Sirmana. Miraculously, most of them emerged in a great sea cave near Barba. Though the entrance of the cave was hidden from the surface, the interior held wonders that had not been seen for generations: sunken warship, trade vessels, and remnants of the unlucky travelers that had fallen victim to the grace in the past. Devil of Karok and the ragtag group discovered a tribe of survivors that had preserved into the caves through the cannibalism and limited trading. The extensive time in the cave had left them unintelligible and wild. Though some attacked the crew of the recent sunk boat, Devil of Karok was able to scare them off. Eventually the group found their way to a pile of bones that contained the remains of Alessa and Pelene. The Audrinian priest buried the pair together and performed a service over the bodies, with the spirits and retreated from the world that towered of the beyond. Okay? Swap endurance. Cool. Cool. Servant of Death. Barat, okay. As I prayed to Barrett, I again found myself on the road. Squidding into the distance, I saw a short, pale figure waiting for me. At first I thought it's another vision of Archdruid Ramthin, but then I noticed the figure is a skeletal frame and a rictus grin. He stood in front of another scout gate, but the way led down, not onward. He beckoned for me to approach. The usher, gatekeeper of the shroud. Not here for us, I hope. I'm not done just yet. Behind me was a woman, her skin milk pale against her black hair. She wears a suit of armor, so dark it seemed to suck light from the stars. The road winded up a mountain behind her.
A toll, traveler.
Ah, there is the Pallid Knight. The toll will grow steeper with time. Pay the Pallid Knight. I dropped a few coppers into the hand, and she closed her fist around the coin. I instantly felt a small weight added to my purse. Really? The lord of this road demands a toll of all, but he leads generously, that all might travel his road again. The road bores into the mountain, and I found myself in a gigantic cavern. The ceiling curved up and away, and it dotted with a monsieur. At a distance, the shimmering beds looked like stars, clustered and scattered in constellations. The usher and pale knight led up a trail of carved into the edges of the cavern. Two identical cave mouths waved up ahead, and as I followed up Usher to one of them, standing at the edge of the grazing down, I saw an endless, ever-changing plain, beset by a road. Only then did I realize that I am no longer on the road. As I followed the road to the point where it disappeared below me, I realized that I was standing in one of the eye crockets of a massive skull. The usher pointed to the road. Archroyd Renston appeared below me. He is just as I remembered him, stern and smooth skin, yet with each step along the road he grew, swallowed with blood and essence. His heavy step became slower and slower until he stopped altogether. The stunted body fell on the path completely.
You met a dwarf traveling this road. What did you do?
He had lived many centuries. I brought him dead. The Pale Knight's flesh is taut against her skull. She nodded once, barely departing her chin.
And every death begins in a new life.
Sure. As Redsten's swallow body ruptured, the effect is like a dam bursting ghostly fingers, as hazy and indistinct as the wisps of smoke. Continue along the cleared path. Some tumble and rush along, while others amble and drift, but all continue forward. The usher directed me to another figure moving down the path. This time I saw High Priest Oftra, Erona. As she followed the road, her movement became slow and erratic. Her legs cracked with each step, and her feet grew long, thick roots that burrowed deep into the ground. She finally stopped, root in place.
You found a tree that had lived for centuries. Its roots were deep, and its boughs sheltered many. Why did you cut it down?
It was a parasite. While its branches sheltered others, its root sucked them dry.
All draw their life's energy from the deaths of others. This is why all must remain part of the cycle of death and rebirth. No creature may be a closed loop unto itself.
Erona's body petrified below, and the shimmering leaves of her hair blow down the path. You seek another who lived this life on the brink of the cycle. He sits on the inside the wheel, observing its revelation. With each life he is plucked from the stream and returned to its inect. Why do you hunt Theos? I seek resolution. In comforting him, I'll put an end to the pain he has caused me.
You seek always the practical, straightforward answer. But the only resolution is a clean slate. An end that leads to a new beginning.
Theos serves Wedica. She desires an escape from the own cycle. Power without decline. Theos has removed thousands of souls from the cycle, so that their essence might empower her. You must stop him, and you must return them to the cycle. Oh, must I? I don't see what this has to do with me. Theos builds a dam to divert water from the stream. The flow of thousands of souls will shape the world you live in. It will also shape the world your soul returns to in the next life. I must go to Sun and Shadow.
No mortal can survive the descent into the pit. But there are souls on the burial isle that are pledged to me. I will grant them to you, and they shall bear you down safely, as well as light the way beyond.
Return them to the Cycle Watcher. Promise them you will, and I shall give you power befitting the champion of death. Accept my favor, however, and I will demand this decision as you do. I collect from all mortals in time. Well, as I said, I don't need the powers of the gods. Let's just move out. I'll decide what to do with the souls on my own terms. Well, I think this was a great adventure. Let's put an end to it, once and for all. Never saw a boat dragon. Whatever the powers they are offering, I don't need them. Let's go to the pit and finish this, finally.
Do you remember when we were children, and the missionaries came to tell us about the gods? They told us we could see them in the stars. And we snuck out one night and climbed the watchtower in the old fort because we thought we could see them better from up there. That fort burned down a few years ago when we cast the missionaries out. It was the missionaries who set fire to it. They didn't want us to be able to use it. Shame. There was history in that fort.
I miss those days. It was an exciting time, everything full of promise. This is your home as much as it is mine. Do you worry about it? I worry about you. You should be more worried about yourself. Half the guards still plot your death at night.
I miscalculated many things since this began. I'm relieved you weren't one of them. It's a good thing we didn't hang you. I always knew this path would have consequences, but I never wanted to see Kratom suffer on my behalf. I don't think I can stay here any longer. I am told the Inquisition is gathering an army, that they have sent messengers to bargain with rulers from distant lands. Kratom is not built to withstand a siege. If war is coming, I should be doing what Theos is doing. I will need allies. Allies in a stronghold that can resist an invading army.
Have you thought about Oceanus?
Oceanus. They have held off many would-be invaders, and their king has no love of the Inquisition's faith. I wonder, would he listen?
Cool. Wait a moment. Was there something here I didn't actually do? I ventured through the doorway into the underground tunnel. The spiraling staircase, raised passage were rubble, light scattered across the floor. Light breaks into the tunnel up ahead, growing brighter as I continued. Soon the passage ended, opened up a high cliffside on the barren island. Oh, I see.
Another turn, Inquisitor.
Theos signals some unseen attendant standing beside the large rat.
I ask again, Jovara Ixensios, do you confess to these heresies of which you stand accused?
He waits, but Ivora only stares straight ahead, her face stony. The crack of her restrains the only sound.
Do you confess to apostasy?
He said apostasy.
I confess to renouncing a mistake.
She opened her mouth to speak, starts of thin spittle spanning from one lip on the other, like a spider's thread.
Do you confess to conspiracy against the one true faith?
I confess to opening minds.
Do you confess to false prophecy?
I confess to following a false prophet.
Okay, the last one can be so literal.
Indeed. And where might we find this heretic?
He wears the robes of a Grand Inquisitor.
Ooh, sick burn there.
You have no followers here, heretic. Your lies hold no sway in the court of the penitents.
Only my truth, then.
Another turn.
No! Wait! Wait! I'm ready. I'm ready.
You are ready to give a confession?
I'm ready to hear one from you.
Theos shook his head and pointed at the Inquisitor, and the scrapping grind of rusted gears echoed in my mind as the apparition faded away. And so it came to this. A great pit light and shadow of a statue of Wedica. No light from the surface reached to the bottom, but even so I caught links of ghostly glow in the depths. A wind from the pit buffered. It isn't cold, but it isn't raising goose flesh alone my arms. The wind carried a whisper, low and sibilant. As I looked into the pit, souls gathered around me. They escape into the cloud essence and swirl around my body while I consider my next move. And so I jumped. I jumped, trusting the promises of the gods and the power of the souls to bear me safely down. The sudden drop takes no breath away. The souls caught me, encasing me in a shining, thundering aura, but while they slow my descent, I can still feel as I am falling faster than I should. The essence flowing around me is strong, but chaotic. I found myself drifting towards the wall. Mind the wall, Yliel. That leave all kinds of marks. Take control of the souls to guide you safety. Concentrating, I focus on the essence around me and get it together in my mind. What was jumble of souls became a single entity, coordinated and purposeful. It steered me to safely at the center of the pit. I managed to spread my arms and legs into an X, steadying my position at the rate of my descent. I reached the court of penitence, millennia-old stones, safely under my feet. What rewards? The game is almost over. Also, yeah, no.
After what seems like an eternity, your rapid descent comes to an abrupt end. You remain still for a moment while your heart settles and your eyes adjust, breathing in stale, forgotten air. Before you, a narrow and eroded walkway becomes faintly visible in the dim light, cutting a winding path through a cavern so expansive it seems a world unto itself. In the distance, you can make out the cold gleam of living Adra veins that spike and fork in and out of view from the murky depths beneath. their glow a faint and fleeting guide along the ancient trail. You look above at the opening you jumped through, now barely a speck of light like some distant star alone in the cosmos and forever out of reach. Your only way lies ahead.
Think I dislocated my... That's better.
Everyone all right? No shattered knees?
Not a sound.
Good. Just me, then.
That was bracing.
If there is time later, I would like to try that again without the souls.
And that's why I like Yuzawa. He will always be one of my favorite books. Still an idiot though. Anyway. Oh. Right. Some camp supplies here and there, and what is this? Scale of the Raven. Once a simple sweat of scale mail worn by the elven scout of the Fisher Crane tribe, it was transformed along its wearer. The scouts of the party ambushed an expeditionary force that had ventured for too long into the Thayan bog. Once the explorers of the wizard, a cursed scout with a spell and turned him into a raven. The scout survived the battle and took advantage of his new form to track the wizard back to his tower. When the scout broke the curse, he found that his armor retained some of the affliction's magic. Far-sighted and nearly undetectable, he broke into the wizard's tower, evading its magical defenses and killing him in his sleep. The suit is black and form-fitting, and the feather-like scales grow in erratic flows. They fall over to time, over to grow, and back again in new patterns. Cool. A fine armor. The Constitution. Often featured in the most grotesque of folk tales, once merely the most aggressive and unstable of ogres, the often have since developed into monstrosities that are both larger and far less intelligent than their cousins. Idiothons have two heads. One note, yeah, I think we've read that as well. Okay, let's go. A millennium of wart dust fills the cracks and crevices of the skeletal relief. Oh, a spirit. Cool. Don't do that again. Cool. A pillared tug of my essence and a pulse from the world itself, moving through it.
I'll take a look.
Ah. Don't mind if I kick your metallic bottom. Fists. Basically, I'm spanking a metal, and it hurts me. Cool.
Slow and silent.
Oh goody, more of them. No. Attack him. You attack this one, and you take him out. How can you not love this guy? A ghost? I'm just gonna beat it with my fists.
Hello? Hello?
Don't remember much about this place. The pure stuck at my essence, a pose on the world within. Oh, wow. It's not even exceptional or even fine, it's just a rapier. No, you attack him, you take him out, attack him, and you attack him. And the rest of us can take him down with this.
Zawa is ready.
How long can it be prone? Good. Now retreat and you can fight. Okay.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not.
I don't even know why we're gathering all this loot. Oh. Another piece of garbage. A column of water rised above me, stoic and silent. It regards layers of measurement stick from the passing of ages. It felt to me as a thick block of ice, and I perceived the very deep in its core a dim, flickering flame, oh but exhausted, yet preserved against the revenge of an element. As I approached, the flame seemed to steady and draw straight, and the layers separated from the melt away. And I and battered on its glow, a bright beacon in the gloom. The glow seemed to fade, as though I had adjusted the intensity, and where it was Aurora, stepped into existence an Arctic shade hovering above the moist prison floor. Though ageless, she appeared somehow different to me. A slight stoop in her carriage, perhaps, or a trace of sunkenness in her eyes. There was a broad scar across her face, fibrous and wormy, where flames once leaped, unheld, even in death.
Hello, brother. It has truly been ages. You are so different now from who you were then, yet much remains the same. Old troubles with a new face. What is it that has brought you here?
I need answers, and you'd better give them to me, ghost, or I will find your fate far worse than this.
I have had time to make my peace with all possible fates. There is little anyone could do to cause me distress now. But your threats are unnecessary. I will help you now as I have before. I can only guess your presence here has something to do with Theos. The energy of this place changes when he is near. I don't know what he has done, but I do know of the souls that pass through here now. They do not come by choice.
Theos diverted them from the cycle. He seeks to empower Wedica and to blame Animancy for the damage it has caused.
After all this time, he would still stand against the tide.
He's in the wrong side of history right now. You knew me when Theos did. There is something I need to know about that time.
I will tell you what I remember.
There is something about that lifetime my soul can't let go of. I need to know what is it. I'm running out of time. I see moments from my life. Of you, of the Inquisition, of Theons.
I can see his influence, still hanging like a weight about your neck. So it always was. He had inspired something in you. We spoke of him the last time you were here also. It was just after the trial. You were agitated. I think because you started to consider that what I was teaching may have been true.
That soul lived a different life. What was I supposed to learn? Ivora's mouth tightened and her brow furrowed. A look of pity, her eyes shifted back at the port between each of mine. As if looking for something that would help her decide where to speak.
That the gods aren't real.
She's not serious.
No, she's onto something.
But that's not... Is that the truth we've come for? That even the gods are false?
The gods have always been false.
That doesn't seem possible.
You are not very open-minded, are you?
What I taught was that the gods whose faith we had been spreading were not gods at all, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And how did you discover this?
The Nguithan missionaries all knew it, but they never told the rest of us. They meant it to be a secret that died with them, and in the end, they allowed their bloodlines to fade from memory. I had been assigned to join a few of them at a temple. I found the door to their chambers closed, but the room was stone and the door thin. Their voices carried. I heard enough. I investigated the things they spoke of, and everything was there, just as they said it'd be.
Later on, after I left the Order, a few Nguithians found my words persuasive and joined my cause. They revealed what I did not already know. Who created these gods, and for what?
They were conceived by Engwith, a society of high minds and broad concerns. Theos' people. In their time, every people worshipped its own gods. Sometimes they warred over it. After a few wars of their own, the Nguithans sought an end to it. They devoted all their energy to finding the true creators. Generation after generation, they prodded and worked the stitching of the world and unlocked its secrets. One day, they found an answer. Except the answer was no answer at all. There were no gods to be found. Or if there ever were, they were gone. It shook them, this finding. If they could discover this on their own, how long until others would? How long before war and chaos reigned over a world without consequence? But they had mastered many things in their pursuit of these answers. And with their mastery, they crafted their own gods to fill the void, and sent missionaries to the corners of the world to spread their faith.
And is this why you started your own fate?
I never thought of it as faith, but I think you are right to call it that. Let the world see. Let them decide what to do. That was my faith. I became a missionary because the gods brought me hope that I wanted to bring to others. For a time, the truth sent me to a dark place. Then the day came when I realized nothing had changed, that I still had a purpose, and the purpose was the same and it was worth living for. I began questioning the other missionaries in public, exposing their parlor tricks. In time, their following became mine.
Is it true what you thought?
You asked me this once before. Nothing I can say would be any proof, and it may be certainty your soul craves. Resolution. But if you are bound for the same place Theos directs these souls, you will see for yourself as you once did. Everyone faces this truth at one time or another. Few confront it. Few have the stomach to ask what if. And in avoiding the question, they deny themselves an identity of their own.
Ivora scouted her audience in silence. Her eyes thoughtfully lingered on each member of my company, in turn finding interest in their unseen.
What if all the tragedy, all the persecution, came in defense of an imposter?
That's not... That can't be right. Aethys, he's done miracles for people.
Miracles. And what is magic here either? You have seen people beginning some rituals, getting straight from the souls. Those gods have learned how to leech the souls, how to perform magic tricks to confuse the weak-minded fools of their wisdom and miracles.
The power of the gods is undeniable. The truth of the story they weave is not. If all our common threads are spun from a lie, what's left to bind us together?
Don't look to me. Perhaps nothing binds us. Rauatai tears itself in two, clutching after truth. And I wish I could have sated my hunger for truth in the halls of the Lore College.
What if our burdens come to us not because they are meant to be, but because they happen to be?
We fulfill them anyway, because they still matter to the people around us, even if we know better.
She turned to Java, who regarded her with rapt attention of the altered mind.
What if some things can never be recovered, and no greater good comes from their loss?
Their existence can be forgotten, but never denied, even when their time has passed. They are no less valuable, their suffering no less beautiful.
The world marches forward without so much as a backward glance. Will you be able to do the same?
Okay. I honestly don't know what to say. None of these answers actually want to say what I want to say. And I want to say is, who cares? I never believed in the gods anyway. Just some powerful beings that can be surpassed by a powerful being still. If I am not that being, let them strike me down. My soul will rise again, and my quest will continue, for it is an endless path, a labyrinth of souls which I... Okay. Then the only value is the things we create ourselves. Yeah, that works.
There is bliss to be found in the things we create, but sorrow as well. Every creation bears the imperfections of its creator, and its creator's creator. Art and song are creations, but so are weapons and lies. We must be careful that our creations do not consume us. I ask these things not to trouble you, but to show why they must be confronted. No answer is simple, but somewhere between them all lies a truth so beautiful, not even a god could conceive it. Do we not owe ourselves a chance to find our part in it?
I honestly don't care. Even without assurance, there is still truth.
If that is truly what you believe, then you are a far different person than the one I knew. I've been alone here with my thoughts for so long now. I've found peace with my failures and with my punishment. I no longer curse fate for what might have been. But there is one thing that has clawed and scraped at my mind all these years. One thing that will not be put to rest until I know. Until I understand.
For the first time, hints of doubt traced her serene visage.
I need to know why you chose to remain with the Inquisition, even after you'd learned the truth. Do you remember?
As she asked, the memory grasped from your mind immediately, as though it had just happened. Well, none of these answers are actually good. There is no assurance. Ivora looked at me, with a face of none condemned. Her mouth moved, but she spoke no words. Her eyes gazed, forced no longer on me, but on something invisible, crushing vision before her. Did my opinion matter so much to you?
I've always looked up to you, since we were children. You had heard both sides, seen everything. If not you, then who?
I see your point.
I'm aware of the folly of trying to learn so much from so little. I've had time to consider that in all its facets. But in the end, it was all I had. You denied me a chance to know your reasons. And even if you hadn't, some part of me would always know it didn't truly answer what I wished to know. Nor will an eternity of silent contemplation. I will have only my guesses and suspicions, and that will have to do. And what of your understanding of our past? Are you at ease with the choice you made?
I always make the right choice. I see the world differently now than I once did. I regret what I did to you and wish your forgiveness. Well, is she talking to me or to the spirit? Because there is kind of a difference, you see. If she's my sister and I've wronged her, something I would never do to a family member. Let's say this.
I have always forgiven you. Whatever your reason, no quarrel of ideas can sever ties of blood and essence. No parting of ways can erase memories of times without worry. Times when even without gods, we were never truly alone. At first I thought this might be the source of your soul's anguish. But now I see I was mistaken. You are not divided on this matter. You have put it behind you. It is with Theos that your agony lies, in sun and shadow. Your questions are not for me, but for him. And it may be that only an answer from the mouth of Theos himself will satisfy your needs. Yet if there is anything I can tell you that would be of use, ask and you shall know.
This place, sun and shadow, what is it? I couldn't tell you what I believe, but again, it would be no proof. I have only what I have seen, and what others have told me. There is only one man who can tell you now, who knows it for certainty, and you shall face him soon. I will leave you to see it for yourself. Make your own judgment, better for your soul that way, I think. Are you bound here until the end of times?
In a matter of speaking. This is Braeth Yamen, The Court of the Penitents. Souls are confined here until they repent. They must beg the forgiveness of a god, pledge their soul to them, and they will be lifted from this place to the world above. In truth, they receive leniency, but not true mercy. The spite of Woodica is eternal. They linger above, at the site of the old court, and are not permitted to leave the island, forever severed from the cycle. This prison was full once in the days of the Inquisition, but time weathers all things, even will. I'm the only tenant who remains. Yet, I feel their presence strongly now, as it was in the beginning. You have brought many of them here. They cry out for the judgment of Theos. You have struck some bargain with the gods, then.
The other gods aid me because they want Theos destroyed. I owe them nothing.
They aid you because they would bend you to their own purposes. Engwith built gods from ideals, and an ideal on its own is a grotesque and vicious thing. But these souls, these forgiven the gods have bequeathed you like chattel. They were loyal followers in life. They will be with you to the very end.
Tell me, why not repent? You could be free of this place.
Last time someone asked me that, I was bound to an iron wheel with a broken spine. There are many things I've come to doubt about the choices I made in life. But that trial was my one moment of certainty, even without a chorus of gods to tell me I had been right. The gods need to be reminded that we have a spirit, and that spirit is proof against their power. They have the power to manipulate and confuse and ruin us, but not to change our will. I will remain here until the world crumbles and fades from existence, with joy in my heart, knowing I've shown them what they truly are.
How is it that you speak Iverian? I speak no language now, but the wordless expression of the spirit. It is through my connection to you that I am able to draw upon your words, and from them, as my own. And why has Theos done all this?
He cares only for the secret he keeps locked away. He destroys anyone who might discover it, no matter their chances. That's why he's always favored Woodica. It isn't in her love of promises or justice. It's her disregard for the rules. Her willingness to do what is necessary. To Theos, she's not a deity, but an ally with which to conspire. When her power waxes, she does as she pleases with this realm, as well as hers. And she wants that secret guarded as much as he. If Theos succeeds, there will be a shift in the balance of power among the gods. Woodica was vanquished once, when the other gods decided she had gone too far, and her power diminished. With this infusion, there is no telling what she will do. The only certainty is that there will be chaos in their realm, as well as ours.
Do you know what it is I need from Theos?
I could not say for sure. But you have been to Sun and Shadow before, and it came at a crossroads in your life, when much of what you knew had been upended. I have to believe it will come to you there. Your concerns then were of loyalty and trust and the gods. Everything I told you seemed to send you further into doubt. His words mattered to you when you knew him then. After you and I spoke, you went immediately to seek him out. Perhaps you simply sought confirmation from the man you trusted. If something from that time still troubles you, it may be something he told you then, or refused to tell you. He keeps secrets better than any in this world.
How can I get Theos to tell me what I need to know?
You will not find a more resolute being on all of Eora. There is no offer you could make, nor spell you could cast, nor pain you could inflict that would make him reveal what he hides. But I see you have become a watcher in this life. Perhaps in defeat, when he can no longer defend himself, you might learn something from him.
It's time for me to go.
Theos will not wait for you. If you do not catch up to him now, you may never find him again.
Then I will waste no more time. Farewell, Yuvara.
It is a cruel fate to wait all this time to be reunited with my only brother, only to be forced to part soon after. But then, what is life but a series of brief encounters with those we love? If ever we should meet again, in this life or any other, I hope to find you at peace.
Cool. Anyway, this is where I'm gonna end the episode. So, thank you all for joining me, and I'm gonna see you all next time. Goodbye.